Okay, hi Hazel.
Hi.
I've got a few questions for you. Is that okay?
Okay, fire away.
So I'm gonna start with the simplest of them all. What's your life philosophy?
My life's, well, other than drink wine and be merry, life philosophy is be in the now. Be present, be now. Because if you can't do that, you're just going to be in a world of suffering. So I haven't got it yet, I haven't worked it out, but it is the aim and the goal is just be in the moment.
How do you practice that?
Yoga. It's the only place I truly feel that I can get that presence without it being an effort. Particularly when I have the responsibility of teaching my own yoga practice, like anybody does at home, is you can get distracted by the sound of the letterbox going, oh, I better go check what that is, or what's that outside my window. There's always an external factor that can distract you from it. But when you're teaching, you have a responsibility to all those that are there to offer the best service you can do in that moment, that day. And the release that gives to your soul is something I can't replicate anywhere else in my life.
Sounds magical. That was exactly my next question, how it's reflected in your yoga classes.
I suppose
So that you're talking about your personal practice. How do you translate that into your classes?
it is in the class where I get that feeling of absolute freedom to, sometimes in a class when I'm teaching, I'll have it planned. I know exactly what I'm going to do, what the focus of the class is, what I want the outcome of the class to be. And those classes can be great, but there are those magical times which are becoming more frequent. The more I practice, the more I teach, the more I study and learn yoga, not just in the classroom but everywhere else in life, is when it feels as if it's being downloaded from another source, as if I'm just a conduit, a vessel for it. And those moments, that's the real now. They're spectacular.
That's when you know.
That's when you know, yeah. They're yogasms. They're great.
That's wonderful. So I was going to ask, what do you love about yoga the most? Would that be it? Would that be that yoga orgasm?
Well, they're good. I like to have multiple yogasms. However, I suppose in my heart, the essence of yoga is when it goes into every other part of my life. So rather than it just be something I practice when I'm on the mat, it changes the way I stand in a queue at the shops. The simplest part of your day can be changed with yoga just by actually being in that yoga present moment, listening to the words of Patanjali's Yoga Sutras that are in your head. So yes, the person who's only got 2 items and you've only got 6, but you can feel that they're under a lot of stress, and you can just say, hey, go ahead of me, I'm in no hurry today. And to feel that happen, and that moment could just change their day. They go home, they're less stressed than they walk in the door, and all of a sudden you've made a positive effect on 10 people by doing one action. And I think that action of yoga is where it lies for me at this moment in my life.
That's beautiful. You see, you are living yoga, you're breathing and living yoga. If you're talking about your students or people out there who've never tried yoga before, all they are focused on is the list of benefits and why would I do it. To listen to someone like you who live and breathe yoga, they can get excited about possibility of maybe moving beyond what their life is or their everyday thinking. So if you were to speak to someone who never tried yoga before and only knows the general thing about yoga, what would you say? What would the first thing, how would you inspire them? What's the benefit? What's the well-being that they could get from it straight away?
I would probably recommend that they just go ahead and do it. Don't think about it, don't judge it. Don't have any pre-ideas that you're going to walk into that room and be scared off by a load of bendy wendies or men in tight yoga pants, or that they're going to need to be able to balance on their head. Forget about all of it. Drop all expectations. Just do. Just
be.
See,
a lot of us, we have body insecurities, or
so do I.
self-conscious.
Right here, right now, having body conscious moments. Every moment. That's not our fault. That's a society we live in. And I feel passionately, even sat here today to do this interview, I drank too much wine this weekend. I'm feeling bloated. I'm not feeling right. I don't want to do this. Criticise, criticise, criticise. But that's not being in the moment. We all feel that way. And even men in society are feeling that way, predominantly even more. So if you think you feel uncomfortable coming to a yoga class, know that everybody else in that room feels uncomfortable walking into that yoga class for whatever reason. The big spot that they've got on their back, they think everyone's going to notice. The fact that they've got smelly feet, so they're not going to take their socks off. The fact that they're feeling overweight and their lycra is bulging out over the tops. And they've got muffin tops. Everyone comes in with an insecurity. But by the time you have done a couple of sun salutations and we're going, right, we're going to balance in this pose, you've forgotten about it. None of it's there anymore. So drop the expectations, arrive on the mat. Let's have a game. Be present. Let's play. Let's have some fun.
So what do your students and your clients love the most about working with you?
I'd have to ask them. However, I think it's because I don't take it seriously. And I don't pretend that I'm some yoga guru that's going to get them all chanting and give them enlightenment. I'm just grateful that they're there. So I hope they just have fun. I hope they don't take it seriously. I hope they come out of it feeling upgraded than when they walked in. And I think I manage that. In fact, I know I manage that. Yeah, I manage it. Yeah, I can do that.
That's beautiful. Thank you.